Do you ever end the day completely drained, yet you feel like nothing really moved forward? You did the calls, the errands, the scrolling, yet something deeper still feels stuck. Here's the thing, your energy is not off, but your timing is. And once you see what the stars have been trying to tell you, you'll realize that you've been putting effort into the wrong thing all along. Hello everybody, I am Vaishali Nikhade. I am an engineer turned psychic with over 9,000 readings, and I show people how they can leverage the power of the stars and the power of the spirit in order to create momentum in your life. When you line up your energy with cosmic timing, you will see that things start falling into place immediately. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can stop wasting time on unimportant things by syncing with the energy of the stars. According to a Gallup report, 67% of the people feel emotionally disconnected from their work and routines, not because they are lazy, but because they are misaligned. So if you've been busy and you're not seeing any progress, then it's possible that you're just working against a natural rhythm. So here's what you're going to learn in this video. How most people normally deal with time, what is star timing, how does a person's energy fluctuate during the day? How does the star's energy fluctuate during the day? And how to superimpose your energy with that of the stars. Your goal is to be able to superimpose your energy with the energy of the stars so that you can create momentum in your life. So let's get started. The first point is how most people normally deal with time. So as far as most people are concerned, time is a linear concept in the sense that they have their days planned, then they have their weeks planned, and they have their months planned. And maybe not months or maybe not weeks, but at least the days, or at least I hope that they have some portions of it planned. And the way they have it planned is that things build upon each other, which means that they do like the first chunk of the job, then they do the second chunk and the third chunk and so on. However, if there is a trap inside one of the chunks that is going to drain their energy, then everything essentially is going to fall apart, and whatever it is that they were working on, which is the project or whatever project they were working on, that is kind of going to get delayed in terms of its timing. Some people may like to keep themselves busy. So what they will do is they will try to make sure that all the slots are filled during the days or during the weeks so that they always have something to do, whether or not it is productive. They just want to be able to be doing the work. And some other people, they may just do the bare minimum in order to be able to move forward. So go ahead and put in the comments below which category you belong to, or if you're outside these two categories, that is fine too. Is you try to stay busy, or you just do the bare minimum, or you belong to some other category as far as doing the work is concerned. So we come to the second point, which is what is star timing? Star timing, as the word suggests, is timing from the stars, in the sense that everyone has a notion of the linear concept of timing. So in linear timing, what you have is you have the time divided into certain segments or sections of time, and this could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. And essentially, it is going to move in the same cycle over and over, in the sense that if this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then it would come back to Monday and it would move all over again, in the sense that it is cyclical, or it keeps repeating over and over again. So that is linear timing, but the star timing doesn't work like that. The star timing, the way it works is it is the timing from the stars, but it could be that one week the energy is, let's say, favorable for love. The following week the energy is favorable for money over here. So let's say that this is love. So think of this as the love sign. And this one, let's say the energy is favorable for money. And then here, let's say this particular week, the energy is favorable for luck. And when it repeats itself, in the sense that, let's say that this was Monday through Sunday, and then we come back Monday, the star timing is not going to repeat itself. It's not that when you come back again, it is going to be favorable for love or money or luck and so on. It is going to change and it is going to vary. And how exactly you find this timing and how you find these windows, for that I have a free masterclass below. You can sign up for the masterclass and I show you how I compute these timings or the frameworks behind it, and how you can leverage the power of the stars in order to be able to create momentum. So for instance, if you already know that this timing, let's say, is going to be favorable for money, then you can put yourself in a space you are open to receiving the money versus being busy with other things. So this is the key concept, that the linear timing, or the concept of timing for most people, is that it's cyclical and it repeats itself, whereas star timing, for lack of a better way of saying it, it is a little bit more random, and the randomness has to be computed. And like I mentioned before, you can sign up for the free masterclass and I show you how I compute the star timing. So essentially the stars are going to show you when things are going to be in your favor, and you can be in a position where you are able to receive the favor. So we move on to the next point, which is how does a person's energy fluctuate during the day? So you will find that for most people, they get up in the morning and then they go to bed at night, and in the morning they have a lot of energy, and as they do the work, their energy drains, or they lack energy as time goes on or as time moves during certain segments of the day. So for instance, let's say that this is your day, and just assume it's a linear line. This is your day, and let's say this is the AM, this is the time you get up, and this is the time you go to sleep. So during the time you get up, you have a lot of energy, and all this energy, it kind of drains down towards the end of the day, and this is the time when you actually take rest or go to sleep. Our bodies are built in such a way that they require rest. If you just keep abusing the body in the sense that you don't take any rest and you're working say 24 hours, you can only do it for so long, and after a certain point in time, there's going to be some sort of a breakdown as far as your body is concerned, and your body is going to scream, oh, I need rest, kind of a thing. So essentially our bodies are built in a way that you have to have rest in between to recharge and to be able to have the maximum energy when you wake up during the morning, and then you can use this energy throughout the day. And then if you were to look at a graph, it would look something like this, that the energy starts draining down towards the end of the day. So that is how the energy is for the day. So now we come to the next point, which is how does the star's energy fluctuate during the day? So like I mentioned before, the energy of the stars, it is not linear like how the timing is linear. So the star's energy is going to fluctuate during the day as well. So we come back to this diagram where you have the person's energy over here. And now this can be a day. Yeah, let's just take it as a day just to make life easy. So now we look at the star's energy, and you will find that, the stars may be that this is the time where the star's energy is going to be most in your favor. And then this is the time when it is going to be a little bit less in your favor. So what does that mean? It means that during this period of time, if you already knew in advance that the star's energy was going to be in favor, and you were prepared to receive this favor, then you are most likely going to make a huge leap in terms of progress. For instance, if the favor was associated with money, then maybe a client comes in and he has an emergency situation and he is ready to hand you a lot of money, which otherwise you wouldn't have gotten, because for you it was a rest period. So the stars don't really care about your rest period. They just show you that, okay, this is the time that I'm going to favor this particular thing. In this case, it is money. This is the time when I'm going to favor something else, which is luck. and someone randomly calls you and makes you an offer, let's say, for something you weren't expecting, or a friend just calls you out of the blue, or something happens which you would not have had it happen in the normal course of time or the normal course of the day. But the point is, the energy of the stars, it is not linear. When you look at the person's energy, I showed you that it is maximum during the morning and then it wanes down towards, I don't want to say zero, but it's pretty low by the end of the day. But the star's energy is not linear, just like the timing was also not linear. So now we come to the last point, which is superimposing your energy to that of the stars. So for this particular thing, what you do is, once you know the pockets of energy or the periods of energy when the stars are going to be in your favor, then you can make yourself available for that favor. So now we are just going to superimpose everything over here. So I'm just going to erase everything and we are going to just kind of do it again. So this is how it's going to work. So we'll just take the period of time, which is let's say 1 week. So this is 1 week. So this is day 1 of the week and this is day 7 of the week. And just like how the energy of the person kind of wanes down towards the end of the day, the energy of the person is kind of also getting lower and lower towards the end of the week because they have worked throughout the week. So if we look at the energy of the person, it is going to be something like this, that it is kind of going to go down towards the end of the week. So now what you can do is you can superimpose the energy of the stars. And like I mentioned before, I have a free masterclass where I show you how to compute these timings when the stars are going to favor you and in what area of life they are going to favor you. If you find out that over here the stars are going to favor you for money, then you can line up your money making activities over here. In particular, if you have a business versus if you have a job, it's going to be slightly different. But let's say that you have a business, then you can line up your money making activities during this part of the week. If let's say that you're single and this period of time is going to be favorable for love, then you can have your activities related to your romantic situation, whatever it may be, during this part of the week, so that things kind of go in your favor. And then you can do the same thing for a higher level of time, which means that we are looking at the week. Now you can look at the month, and then you can look at the year, and so on. So essentially, it is a way of creating a map for yourself or creating a calendar for yourself, which is more of an energetic calendar. So just like you have a normal calendar, which is linear, for lack of a better way of saying it, this is going to be more of an energetic calendar, which is going to show you which weeks are going to work in your favor, which weeks you have to be careful. For instance, let's say that 1 week there is possibility of an accident, then you can kind of make your moves differently, or you can be more careful while driving, and so on. Now, if you would like to get the periods of time or how the energy is going to be every week, as far as the stars are concerned, I have something called the Cosmic Chronicle, and the link is below. And you can sign up for the Cosmic Chronicle, and essentially what it shows you is every week where is the energy of the stars going to be focused, or what is going to be in your favor as far as the stars are concerned. So now that you know how you can superimpose your work with pockets of energy or periods of energy or timing during which the stars are going to be in your favor, how exactly would you act if your intuition is blocked and you want to get that signal back? That is the subject of my next video, and I'll see you in my next video.